Hi, boys and girls. This is going to be our assignment for Monday. This is going to be lesson 5. I kind of did one already. I'm just going to show you exactly what it's going to look like on your screen because this seems to be where some of you are having a hard time or you're telling me you don't know what to do or that you need help. Okay? The only math you really actually have to do here is 2 times 30, which just like we were doing the other day, right? Do your one math fact, which is 2 times 3, and then you have to go back and count the zeros. Okay, that's it. Don't have to worry about anything up here. What normally you would have done was you would have made 30, right? And then you would have just made 30 more. That's kind of how you show 2 times 30. Okay, you're not going to do anything with this, and I don't really care about that right now. I just want you to be able to do this part. Or same thing with this. You really don't ever have to actually answer this. Okay, it says 2 times blank tens equals blank. All you have to do, and again, I probably repeated this in my class 1,000 times now, and kids still come to extra help or office hours until they need help. You just have to type something in this box, like the word done, and then go down and hit submit answer, and then go to the next problem. And then it's going to ask you to actually do the math that I just figured out. Okay? You didn't even have to fill in that other part. All you have to do is the 2 times 30. Again, 2 times 3 makes 6. And then you put the 0 in. And you click on the answer box, right? And you put that same answer in there. Okay, we've used assessments enough at this point in the year. Again, when we come back on Monday, it will be November. We've been using assessments for at least a month and a half now. We've had a million of these things that were the big box. Okay, it tells me the answer is recorded. Click next problem, right? You just have to have something in here. If it helps you to write 2 times 30 equals 60 in there, that's good. If not, again, I'm worried at this point about the math part. 2 times 30 should not be hard for anyone in fourth grade. Right? On Friday, it was just something like 5 times 100. Again, same idea. You did the 5 times 1, which is 5. And then you just have to count to 2. 1, 2 zeros, 1, 2 zeros. Okay? That was basically Friday, and then today is just going to be a little bit harder. And I'll kind of show you the next one. Again, then you go and you submit your answer. It tells you I'm correct, and then the next problem. And again, then it has the box again. If you want to, in the box, right? 2 times 3, if you want to type 3 tens is 6 tens, you can. Okay, but it honestly doesn't really matter what you put in the box. I always just tell the kids just to write something like done. Okay, if you really want to and you really want to write that out, you can. It's 2 times 3 tens is 6 tens. That's what that would have been. Okay, then whatever you put, just done. Or some kids write on chart or did it on scrap paper. You hit submit answer, then you go on to the next problem. And then it just wants you to do 30 times 2 again. Which again, we just did. The answer is still 60. Okay, so I think some of you are getting too bogged down with the website and you're missing the actual math, which again is not that tricky. It's just 2 times 3. I have 3, you have 3. Together we have 6. And then you need a 0 on the end because that's what was there. And again, you submit answer, it tells you correct, you go to the next problem. Okay, and the next problem is basically the same exact idea. The only difference is there's an extra 0. It's now 2, it might be hard for you guys to see, but it's now 2 times 300. We just figured out like 4 times that 2 times 30 was 60. So 2 times 300 is 600. Again, I talked about this on Friday. I knew some kids, and I talked about it. We're going to be like, there's 37 questions. Oh my goodness. It's just this over and over again. Or like our first four answers were 60. It was 60, then it was 60, then it was 60. Okay, the answer is 600. Again, you don't have to do this part. It would be 300s, and then you would double it. And that would be it. There's 600. Again, there's the little box again. It's the same thing. Just type done in the box, and I'm okay with it. I don't know what other teachers are as well. You could ask them what they want you to put there, but that's what I tell my students to do. And then you go to the next problem, and then it just wants the answer of 600. Move this out of the way. Okay, so some of you, like I said, you're making way too big a deal about the box that we've done. Again, at least 100 times at this point. You probably had 100 of those. If you want to type something there because it's going to help you, that's fine. Yeah, and then it just wants the math. What is 2 times 300? That's the same thing that I made over here. And we just figured out 2 times 30. I think the first question was actually 2 times 3. You do your one math fact. Right? And then you figure out that other part. Right? Our one math fact was 2 times 3 makes 6. And then 1, 2 zeros, 1, 2 zeros. Okay, so this should be one of the kind of the easier things that we work on. Again, it's 2 times 300 again. Again, this is the part where they want the 2 times something and something. You can just write done in the box. And just type anything in there. As long as you have something written there, it will let you go to the next problem. And then it's just 300 times 2 again, right? I just care about the math part, which is 300 times 2. Still, just 3 times 2 makes 6, and then 0, 0. Same answer again. And that was just the answer, 3 times in a row. Still correct. Okay, and then again, another one. Now, this is just 2 times 3,000. Right? And again, some of you will look over here and you'll go, oh man, there's 31 questions. That's way too hard. I've already done 12 of them. And I'm pretty sure it was like the first answer was 6, then it was 6, then it was 6, then it was 60, then it was 60, then it was 60, then it was 600, then it was 600, then it was 600. And now it's going to be 2 times 3 makes 6, and then 1, 2, 3 zeros. I'm going to have 6,000 as my answer. Oh, that's an extra 0. Okay, so that's kind of all you really have to be working on today. I'll try to find a different part if there's anything different. And otherwise, again, just do your one math fact. Then figure out the zeros. And I'll do a couple other examples in a second. And then there's going to be a section where they just give you a couple different problems, right? 3 times 500. Again, do your one multiplication fact. 3 times 5 makes 15. And then count the zeros in the problem. That was 1, 2 zeros. So in my answer, I need 1, 2 zeros. And it isn't even harder than like the stuff we do on Thursdays. You just have to go back afterwards and count the zeros. Same thing, 6 times 7 is one of our harder math facts, but there's still just one math fact I have to do. 6 times 7 is a hard one. That makes 42. And you can do whatever you need to do to figure it out. You can count by 6. Like I always go by 5s, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I know 6 times 5 is 30. I can add 6 more. 6 times 6 makes 36. Then I can add 6 more. That's 42. That's times 7. And so there's always different ways you can create that. Or you can just sit there and you can just write them out. 6, 12, 18, count again, 24, 30, 36, 42. You can count, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can do any way you need to get the 42. Again, that's kind of the harder part. The easy part is to then say, and then I need to put a 0 on the end. And then you put a 0 on the end. Or same idea with 3 times 8. Okay, I always kind of flip in my head backwards and I do the bigger number first 3 times, right? So like 8, double it, it's 16. 8 more is 24. Okay, again, that's the trickier part, your one math fact. The other part is just how many zeros are there, right? And then I'll show you a couple trickier ones that change a little bit. Then you might get a couple like this. These ones are a little different. There's something I'll show you that's kind of different about those. Don't get into the bad habit of saying my answer is going to have 2 zeros in it, and that's it. And then saying 2 times 5 is 10, so my answer is 100 because I need 2 zeros. Because that's not going to work here. Okay, stick with kind of the rule, right? Do your one math fact first, then go back and figure out the zeros. Some of you like to try to jump ahead and it actually kind of slows you down or hurts you in the end. Do your one math fact first. What is 2 times 5? That is 10. And here's why this one is going to be different. And then we need 2 more zeros. So some people get in the bad habit of saying, well, this has 2 zeros, so my answer is going to have 2 zeros. Because the same idea happens here. I kind of split them apart just to show you that same idea, but those are my math fact, and then the times. All right, I'm going to use all those as a multiplication sign. I'm going to use 6 times 5. And I count by 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so again, you see how I've used this, and I've used that. Again, what haven't I used yet? Right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I think some of you need to just kind of take a deep breath and think this is stuff you should be able to do by yourself. Okay, if the box is what's holding you down, just type done in it. DONE. Okay, or on graph paper, or finished. Okay, anything like that. Hit submit. If you're really stuck, it'll eventually just kind of tell you what to do. But those ones you have to put something in the big box and then hit submit answer. And then next question, and so on. All right, this should be something you guys should be able to get done.